Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Magnolia Fairy Tale. My name is Martina and today I'm going to show you a journal which I did recently and which is very near and dear to my heart. After a short intro, we are going right into it. So, may I introduce? This is Nostalgia. It is big, it is heavy, and it is very vintage. And besides that, it has many special things which do make it unique for me. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about them as we go along. The first thing I wanted to share with you and show you is, please have a look at this ornament on the cover. The one with the rose and in this gold and rosé tones. What is so special about it? I can show you. It's loose. It is loose because I just couldn't decide whether to keep it or to put it away. And the reason for that is that the title of this book, which I used here, is in German Olle Kamellen, which translates into old stuff. Isn't this great? This book, this journal has the name Nostalgia, and this cover booklet has the title Old Stuff. I think more perfect it couldn't be. But let me first tell you a little bit more about how I did this book, this journal. Actually, it is constructed using two old books. And when I say old, I mean it. Because, funnily, both of them are from 1877. Really old. And when you look at this one, you see that it is in the cover that is in quite good shape. I had just to do a little bit of gold waxing around the edges, but the rest of it is, given its age, relatively nice. And let me just turn this book around so that you see the other details of it. You see there's a lot of lace over there, and I'm going to tell more about that. Lace on the edges, as I think a beautiful trim to cover the spine. Really nice colors which perfectly match the sari silk ribbon which is tied to close the booklet. And on the back side you have the first glimpse on the bigger book, which as you can see, or maybe you can see, it also has some gold tones in there, and I have covered the edges with gold corners because this one had been a little bit more rough, so it looked a little bit more worn. So let's go right into it. It's, as I said, it's vintagey, it's very vintage, and I have used many original vintage items, and it starts with the many doilies which I have used. Before we open this little booklet, you see I have used double layered lace to cover the edge. And on the right hand side you have a first look into the doilies which I have used. Here is some little fabric, vintage, all of them are vintage doilies. And these ones, there are several layers of crochet doilies in different colors, white and a little bit more off-white, beige, which I have hand sewn together. And in order to secure them a little bit more, make it a little bit more stable, I have put them on, I think you call it burlap, and I have decorated it with some vintage lace appliques. But what is this? This one is a little pocket. Actually, several pockets. You can open it, you can flip it up. It has a pocket over here, and I haven't done anything inside it, but you can do. There's a tag sitting in another pocket. I have used copies of very old fashion journals from France. And I have used some of them throughout the booklet, you will see. There's another pocket here which has a little piece of this copy from this journal. This is another pocket, and in this pocket there is another tag which has been backed on baking paper. This picture, by the way, is the lover of a Bavarian king, an old Bavarian king named Ludwig I. Her name is Lola Montes. So, we looked at the doilies already. Take another look before I open it. And this one is the book from the bigger book. And as I said, it's also from 1977. It's a Dutch poet. And you can also see here, again, the metal corners you see. And here I have used the gold wax to cover a little bit the rough and worn areas. But this one and the ornament here, this has been intact. Again, double layered lace over there. And when we open it, you see on the right hand side a faded picture of two Victorian ladies, and this has been achieved by, because it stems from a digital kit, by coffee dyeing the prints, and so the color faded a bit, and this was exactly what I wanted, because I wanted to give it this vintage worn look, and I added some stamps with some nostalgic ornaments on there and a trim on the side. And this sits on the original page from this bigger booklet from the Dutch author. And in order to secure the old pages, because the old paper is brittle, you can't avoid it, and it has stood the test of time. But in order to make it last a little bit longer still, I have secured it with washi tape, and you will see this throughout this booklet that I did it from time to time. Here, this thing can be closed with these ribbons from sari silk in ivory color, and it can be opened. And here you see another Victorian lady. You will meet several of them throughout the booklet. And here another pocket. And this pocket you can open, and inside the pocket there is a journaling card which has been backed with avocado dyed paper, and it has again the picture of a Victorian lady. And I have used some lace with gold trim over there. So the journal starts with something which calls inventory beginning. I thought this is a nice start because you can use it to write, I don't know, your themes or what you plan to write into it, or whatever you want, of course. The first pocket, which you see over here, carries a journaling card and another thing which has motifs from one of the icons of the Art Nouveau, Alphonse Mucha. He has made some very popular drawings. You will see them, illustrations, you will see them throughout the journal. And I used it to make a little booklet, very little booklet with some flower and leaf dyed paper in it. By the way, as I said, this journal is big and heavy. And when it comes to the size, I can tell you it is 10 by 7 by 3 inches. I haven't put it on a measuring scale, on a weighting scale, so I cannot tell you exactly what is the weight of it, but it has some weight. And you will see as we go along how much is in there. It has more than 180 pages, and it has 5 signatures. And it is available in my Etsy shop. I haven't said it yet. And you will see the link to my Etsy shop in the description box. Here I have added a trim with a mini ruffle and some gold decoration over there. Victorian lady with some lace on the edge. Stenciling on a coffee dyed paper using some leaf elements. And on this side, on the left hand side, from a digital kit, this is the illustration of a traditional London department store called Selfridges. This is some digital kit paper which features old paper, and it fits nicely to nostalgia, like the pictures from Alfons Mucha, smaller ones, which are here on this coffee-dyed paper. Usually the colors which I have used in this journal are subtle, beige, coffee-dyed, but from time to time I have used some stronger colors. Not too strong, not overly strong, but I wanted to still give it some livelihood, some more color, and therefore I used some watercolored paper, this is one of those. On this page, on the right hand side, which has been stenciled as well, you find another hidden space where you can write something down. It flips out and you can close it. This is scrapbook paper, which has a very nostalgic pattern and which I thought fits nicely to this nostalgia topic. And it has some vellum paper on top. I like the sound. Usually I always have vellum paper in my journals. And it has a pocket which carries a little tag. On the right side you see a picture of some Victorian ladies. And here you see original pages from the smaller booklet, which I have put gesso on in order to make it possible to write on it or to make some decoration on it. And inside there is another illustration from Alfons Mucha, and I also did some stenciling. And by the way, this smaller booklet is from a German poet. His name is Fritz Reuter, and he was writing not in High German but in a kind of a dialect which I'm not even able to understand, which is interesting because I'm German. And also the writing, as you see, the types of the writing is in this old German type. Again, a very, very small picture from an illustration from Alfons Mucha. Stenciling, aqua, color paper, another pocket with several journaling cards. This one I have used baking paper on it and ran it through my embossing machine to give it a nice feel. So most of the tags and journaling cards I used my sewing machine on to give it a nice trim rim. And here there's a nice applique, which originally was in white. So I used avocado in order to give it a more vintage look. And the same I did on this lace here, which was also white initially. Yeah, these two ladies, they stem from this fashion journal from 1980. So I cut out a picture. It's a copy of this journal. And I cut out a picture, I coffee dyed it, and I put some gold color on it in order to give it a nice glimmer. Not too much, but a nice glimmer, which you can see depending on how the light falls onto it. This is the copy of a picture from an old piano, which I had modified a bit in order to give it this vintagey look. Some collages with different washi tape. And here you see some tailoring themes, some tailoring instructions, and you find some of them throughout the journal. On the right side there's another pocket which carries two tags which have old vintage advertising themes and are backed with different paper. This is the original paper from this smaller booklet. This little cutie I did using some decoupage method and embossing, and I also put on a little bit of gold glitter. Yeah, and this is again the original, one of the original pages from this bigger booklet from this Dutch poet, and I have used them because I want to honor the old books and I want to have a kind of a tribute to them, and therefore I have a few of them used in this journal. I also want to draw your attention to all the stains which you see here, and these stains are original stains, so they come from the aging process. I didn't do them, so I didn't put any speckles on it or whatsoever. It's originally old stains, and I think it gives it a certain character and a certain feeling. Yeah, another faded picture of a Victorian lady. Here this is another Victorian lady picture, but this time not faded, and again decorated with a trim and with some lace on the other page, which you can see from there. So therefore I have often used different sizes of the pages in order to make sure that the different decorations are being seen. Here I have avocado dyed doily put into it, and on the left hand side some stenciling, coffee dyed paper. This one is special here. I would like to show you a little bit closer, because this is the original spine from this smaller booklet, from this old stuff titled booklet. And it was in quite good shape, but I had to remove it when I was constructing this booklet, this journal. So I took it away. I put on some gold wax in order to make it really pretty. I put it on certain pieces of, several pieces of cardstock in order to make sure that this construction on the right hand side can be closed, can be kept closed. And I open it for you. It's a three-fold thing which is decorated. Oh, I have to put it a little bit higher so you can see it all. See, it's decorated, and each of these flips are a pocket, and they have a small, very small tag in there. And it closes like this, and then you can put it to the left hand side so that it stays closed. So, yeah, again a Victorian lady, and here a copy of a picture which has been coffee dyed as well in order to give it a vintage look, not only a vintage motif but also a vintage look. And this one is being surrounded by some decoupage technique, collaging items which I have put with added with Mod Podge in order to make sure that it stays intact and nothing rips apart. Again, this tailor theme, original book sizes, and here some tailor theme tags, journaling card, and a bigger tag with a rose motif, and together with a little collage of several laces, trims, a little rose on burlap which has been secured on the back side in order not to rip any other pages. This envelope here is also made with decoupage technique on old book pages. Put some rose glitter on it, and it carries one journaling card with a rose motif. So this is coffee dyed paper, which I have pimped a bit with adding some turquoise speckles. Another pocket with journaling cards, and decorated with this wonderful ruffle which I have used several times in this journal, a vintage lace, and some nostalgic lace over there. This one, these two journaling cards, they belong, or they should be sitting in this pocket. And this pocket is being made out of rose paper together with original paper from the smaller booklet. And on the right hand side again some vintage advertisings which I have glued on this page. Here, this little collage from different fabrics I had to use because I liked the way the colors match with the dress of this lady. So I did this several times, you will see as we go along. What you see on the right hand side stems from an old book, not as old as the ones that I used, but quite old, and it's called the Victorian Flower Album, and it features drawings of wildflowers which have been made during the Victorian era. So again, this coffee dyed paper, and again another of these original book pages from the bigger book, and with a nice drawing over there. Stenciling. Again, this is one of the original book pages. Stenciling is there, and a lady, a faded picture of a lady. And here I made, out of these smaller book pages, I made a little pocket which can be opened. It's decorated on the inside, and it carries a little tag in the inside. Be aware that it's, as I said, it's old paper. Old paper is delicate. I have secured it as much as possible, but of course it will not. When you open and reopen again and again, it might tear. That's the way life goes. So here, as I said again, this is a Victorian lady, and here I have added some. I like this fabric a lot. It's with gold and different blue and green tones, and they fit nicely. They match nicely with this color of the dress. And it's made into a pocket here, and this pocket is made with vellum, with rose motif, and inside there is a postcard which comes from the Victoria and Albert Museum in London. It carries a design from William Morris, and William Morris, as you might know, is one of the icons of this era, of this Art Nouveau era, and he has made many designs for tapestry, fabrics, wallpaper. So he's quite famous. And what I did here is I additionally ran this card through my embossing machine, so it has a nice pattern. I'll put it back later. Here there's a very delicate lace on the side, and here is another of these William Morris postcards. You can see this time it's not embossed, and it sits in an older airmail envelope which I have turned into a pocket, so it's from the 1950s. This page on the right side I love because it stems from a digital kit, and I love it because it has this wonderful writing. It's in French, and it has so nice faded colors which I think fit nicely to the nostalgia theme. And this lady, this Victorian lady, she sits in a flower applique which I have coffee dyed and put on a coffee dyed piece of paper where I added a trim and lace. And on the other side you can flip out this picture and you can write on the back side. Here this is avocado dyed, and I have used a doily in order to create this pattern over there. And interestingly, the back side is much lighter when it comes to the color. This is stenciling with some leaf motifs, and again from this Victorian flower album some pictures. These little cuties I created by using a decoupage technique, embossing, putting glitter on it, and some acrylic paint in order to secure them. And they are put on the page by using some threads, and on the other side I have put on some washi tape so that it they don't rip any of the other pages. And here what you see is one of the more common, more famous illustrations from Alfons Mucha. And I have added some stamps over there in order to give it a nice frame. The pocket on the right side carries some journaling cards, tag, and a bigger journaling card with rose motif, and again this waffle which I like so much. I did do some stamping with tailoring motifs. Alfons Mucha again, original book page, and on the back side there's a card which has been turned into a pocket with some vellum and some motif of an old photograph or old drawing, and inside there's a postcard, or there's a card which I have turned which I have beautified a little bit by putting on some stenciling or some embossing with gold color. And beneath there's another motif from design from Alfons Mucha, not Alfons Mucha, William Morris, and I've added this little piece of trim on the other side, on the opposite side, because I like how the colors match. Again, also these colors match nicely. Some faded picture again, Victorian lady, some stamps on the edges. Here I stepped into color. As I said, there will be color from time to time, and this is a dark turquoise and it has some glitter. And it sits on watercolor dyed paper. Again, something to open by opening the bow and flipping out these things, and there are several pockets, and each of the pockets carries something, cards, tags, and journaling cards. Here there's another one. And I have used motifs from Victorian era, and here on the back there's another pocket, and there are two journaling cards in there. There are several hidden spaces, hidden places in this journal which you could use to hide things or write secrets or whatever. And as you have seen so far, it's decorated, it has decorations all over, however, still enough room to really use it as a writing journal if you wish. So it's quite versatile, I would say. There's a nice stamp of a bird, and this is one of the copies of this French fashion magazine from 1890, and I have coffee dyed it, and to give it this touch and feel, and the sound, I like the sound as well. On this page you see a double pocket, it carries tags, and this one you can flip out, and here's a little Stamperia tag, and again this waffle which I like so much. Victorian ladies with some lace. A peacock. There's always a peacock in my journal, I think, almost always. I love peacocks because they are so pretty, they are so luxurious, and I almost always find a place for them in any of my journals. So here's a little pocket with a rose motif backed on packaging paper. Here I did a little decoupage rose decoration on, and two tags inside. This one is backed with the original paper from the smaller book, and this one is baking paper embossed. Vellum. I show you this trim. this trim I had to use because the color and the color of the dress, they fit perfectly, I think. So I had to use it, and I like the glitter, and I like the glitter on it, because I think those people during that time who could afford it, they were really dressed well. Well, unfortunately, most of the people couldn't, but those who could, they were they were more than pretty. Again, a little drawing from wildflowers, watercolored paper, the original book page from this bigger book, and here there's another of these little pockets which can flip out. It's decorated on the inside. This is just decoration. Here is the pocket, and in this pocket there is a little card. But again, as I said, it's secured, but it's old paper. Old paper has seen so many years and therefore is a little bit brittle. Here's a collage, a little rose, a little bit of lace and a little bit of ribbon. Again, color, matching the color of this dress of this lady, and she has been secured on the page by a pin in heart shape over there. So you can put her off and keep her down. And there's another lace in cotton. Yeah, this is gift paper. Very thin gift paper which makes a nice sound, and I like the color and I liked how it matches this avocado dyed paper, which has been decorated with some cotton trim. Another pocket in teal colors, matching the turquoise of this coffee dyed paper, and this is a nice journaling card, which I like it a lot because it has a kind of a fairy tale feeling, I think. I don't know why, but this is how I feel about it. And a bigger one. Alphonse Mucha again, to flip up, and you can write there. Original paper. There's another pocket here with, with a card inside. Again, some decoupage and gold decoration. A collage with different laces, ribbon, fabric, button. This faded pictures again. Here beneath this belly band, which I have decorated further, there are some cards which originally were quite strong in color, therefore I coffee dyed them to achieve a little bit more vintage feeling, and now I like them and I think they fit nicely to the theme. And also this marble pattern on this page I think is very nice. Victorian lady, some lace which I have coffee dyed, I think. Yeah, I think because the original color was more like this one here. So, and now we are almost at the end, and the inside cover of the book, the inside page of the cover carries a crochet doily which I have turned into a pocket, and this pocket has a journaling card and a tag. And what you also can see here is that I have further secured and decorated the spine, which carries the 5 signatures with some cotton lace. Yeah, so that's it. That's the back side of the bigger book. That's nostalgia. And we are almost at the end, and I thank you very much for watching my video. I hope you stayed, and if you liked it, please leave me a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. You can also visit my Etsy shop and maybe I see you there, and see you next time. Many thanks. Bye bye.